Good morning, it's Friday. Welcome to the weekend. We have one assignment that you actually have the whole weekend to complete, and then we're almost done with week 2. Isn't that crazy? Again, I'm going to try to keep the tradition of a short video going, so let's knock some things out right now. The biggest question I had was rhyme scheme questions and how to find rhyme scheme, how you notate it. And a lot of students, I just referred them back to their notes and the videos and the PowerPoints I added. So as a reminder, please, please, please watch the videos. Please, please, please use your resources, because otherwise, why am I making these videos every day? Now, there are definitely times where I forget to add things, so I get that. But a lot of times students ask me, I don't know how to find rhyme scheme. I said, rhyme scheme in general or rhyme scheme for this poem? And they're like, in general. And I go, well, then you need to check your notes. Okay, that's my one reminder for that. I'm going to very briefly mention something about the walloping window blind, which you read yesterday. The rhyme scheme for that is A, B, C, B. So it's not the first line and the third line, it's those second and fourth lines within. And so there's an A, B, C, B, and then there's another A, B, C, B. We don't start using more letters, because like I said, we want to keep it with those 4. So yeah, A, B, C, B. But this poem is much more, you're supposed to see not just end rhyme for that, even though there is end rhyme. The thing that is on display in the walloping window blind is internal rhyme. So a capital ship for an ocean trip. Ship and trip rhyme. So it's going to happen, it happens a lot more inside the line, internal rhyme, but it does happen at the end as well. Okay, I'm going to quickly tell you for the homework last night what the rhyme schemes were for that, just because those were a lot of the questions I had. Number 1, fire and ice. Even though there is end rhyme in there, there's not a distinct pattern, so we actually say no rhyme scheme for that. So NA, not applies. It does not apply. Number 2, my penmanship is pretty bad. That is A, B, A, B. So the first and the third lines rhyme, and the second and the fourth. All right, number 3, ships at sea. That is A, because all those lines rhyme. Number 4, not applicable. There are some rhyming words, but they don't always come in a certain order. If you were looking at notating it, you could say A, B, C, B, B, B. So A, B, C, B, B, B. But we usually say that that one doesn't necessarily have a rhyme scheme, because it doesn't always fit into that, okay? Number 5, A, B, B. First and second lines rhyme, third and fourth lines rhyme. A, B, B. And then finally, So Much Joy, or 'Tis So Much Joy by Emily Dickinson. That is A, B, B, C. A, B, B, C. Okay. Today, we get to go back to Shakespeare a little bit, and we get to read something from one of his comedies. So less death, more fun and interesting stuff. It is this one, All the World's a Stage. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. One of his most famous quotes, actually, is this poem, this section that he actually does. So it is from As You Like It, which is a play by Shakespeare. It is a comedy, and this is about the stages of life. And so you are going to read that. You're going to do your markup with those 5 colors, and your homework tonight. So when we've done this assignment and read this poem before, what we would do is we'd actually read it together in class, and then this front side of the page, which is the stages of life according to Shakespeare, we would have actually filled this in together. So we would have gone through, tried to break down and find his stages of life. However, since we don't really have that option, I've given that to you. They're already there. And so he gives a name of each stage. He has 7 total. And there's kind of an estimated age that you can kind of guess based on the way he describes someone at that age. And this is the description. How does Shakespeare explain or show using imagery for sure, what you're like at that stage? Your homework over the weekend is, well, in class, your classwork today is to go through and make notes of this poem. I would have this out, the one that's already filled out, next to you so you can kind of see where it goes from each stage. So as soon as it moves from one stage to the next, I might even make a little mark right here. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, that line right there I just made, that's when it moves to a new stage. So that might help you kind of look at how you're chunking it up. Your homework though, over the weekend, which is why I actually moved this assignment to be over the weekend so you have some more time. I would like you to think about what you think the stages of life are for in your eyes. So I know you haven't gone through all the stages of your life. You are not, 95 years old on, saying goodbye to life, but I want you to think about and make up for yourself what the stages of life are. And it's asking you to what you think the 7 stages of life are. You need to describe each stage using a simile, meaning a comparison between two things using like or as. So the infant stage is like this, or the toddler stage is like this, or the young adult stage is like this. And you don't have to use those names. That doesn't have to be the formal names. It can be whatever stage you want, like whatever name you want. And then in this tiny little box, I want you to see if you can draw me a picture that shows that description or that simile. So yes, it might take you a little bit longer, but this is your opinion, and it's also you just kind of you probably haven't thought about it like this before. So I just want to see what the stages of life are in your eyes. I want you to really pay attention to this one though, because next week, I just finished putting your packets together yesterday. The 6th grade teachers go in on Thursdays to do that. And one of the things you'll be doing next week is an author's style poem, which means you are going to be writing your own poem in the style of one of the poets we have read. And one of the options is to write a poem in the style of this poem by William Shakespeare about a metaphor for life. So pay attention to this one. Don't just fly through trying to get it done, because you may want to select this poem as the one that you would like to make your own version of, okay? So read the poem, make your marks with those 5 colors, try to find rhyme, try to find internal rhyme. There is not a rhyme scheme for this. I'm going to tell you right now, there isn't one. So don't freak out saying, well, I can't find the rhyme scheme. Well, there isn't one. That's not what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus more on the imagery. What picture is Shakespeare painting in our head? And what figurative language, what similes or metaphors does he use, okay? Now, to help you out, because it is Elizabethan English and you don't have a no fear version of it like we did for Caesar, I created this, and I need to share my screen. I always forget to do that. I go straight to it. So I created this document, which will be in with the materials for class for today. So move this space up to the corner, and this is like the front cover, if you will, just letting you know that this is William Shakespeare, and it's called All the World's a Stage. It's from the play As You Like It. And if you can see this, maybe I'll present so it's a little bit more visual. Yes, it is a helpful glossary of words. Okay, so I gave a list of some of those words that I think you might need some help on, and they go in order of the poem. So words that are at the top or near the top of the poem, and then they move down as they go. Some of them you, like Mr. I know that word, great. Some of them you might not, and there might be other words that I didn't include that you still don't know. Just look them up, not a big deal. But yeah, so words like mewling, it's crying or whimpering, and you can read. So I even gave you a picture for one of them. And So yeah, I just wanted to provide you a little bit of help so that you kind of had some more of an idea of what you were reading. But yeah, read the poem. Use this resource that I have on my screen right here. Make your marks. Pay attention to figurative language and imagery more than rhyme. And then your homework is to pay attention to this, because this is the version of Shakespeare's that you should have with you while you're reading the poem. And then your task is to try to figure out what you think the stages of life are according to you. And if you end up choosing to imitate this poem, this will be a huge help for you next week. So don't skimp on the work. Pay attention and try to do it. It's a pretty cool exercise. Every year students think it's a lot of work, and then every year students really, really like this assignment. So take some time and be thoughtful. You have the time, and many of us are, now that we're home and having to take stock of life a little bit differently. I think it'll be a lot of fun for you to really thinking about what you think the stages of life are and what they mean. So I think I actually did pretty well. We're gonna stop so that you have time to work on your homework. We have one more assignment for this week, and that is on Monday, and it is a really awesome poem by it's actually one of my favorite poems by one of my favorite authors. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. That might be a little bit of a longer video because it's a longer poem, and I want to spend time on it. So I hope you have a great weekend, and as always, I miss you guys, and I look forward to possibly being able to chat with you face to face soon. It's in the works. So yeah, again, oh, last bit. If you have a question, that's awesome. That's fine. I love questions, but I don't know how to answer a question when you just say I don't understand it. Or I don't get it, or what do I need to do? Because then I don't know how to help. Like, I'm not sure like how to answer your question because you didn't give me a specific one. So please try to think about, if you really have a question, ask a specific question so I can actually help you. And if you don't even have a specific question and you want a longer conversation, then yeah, maybe send me an email versus just a comment. Say, hey, Ms. Doyle, I'm really struggling with this. What can I do? Can we G-chat? Can we have a longer conversation? Okay, so that's it. You have a wonderful rest of your Friday and have a great weekend. Have fun working on the stages of life. I'm looking forward to reading them. And yeah, all right, bye.